Welcome back, students. We are now today we'll be learning a new AWT component which is called a choice, which is also known as a combo box. We are all aware of combo box. For example, if I take a Word document, we have a combo box. See here, this is an example of combo box. When I select the font size, this is an example of combo box. Okay, so let us see how we can create a combo box, or technically in Java we can say it as a choice. How we can create a choice control in Java. So that is what we are going to learn today. So if you want to create a choice or a combo box, the constructor is shown below. Choice, C has to be capital. I'll be giving choice. Let us see the object of the choice class equals new choice. So here it means that I've created a blank choice, or I've created a blank combo box without any content in it. So we have a set of methods which is actually used to add contents into it. So let us put in this way. Let us start with a program. Let us create a program. Let us write a program, and using the program, let us see how the methods can be implemented here. So as we know that when we start a Java applet program, particularly with AWT, we have to use the import statement java awt.star. And if we are going for an event generation, then we also have to go for awt.event.star. Anyway, I am keeping these two import statements here. Let us write a simple program to depict the example of choice. So here I'm writing public class ch, that is the name of the class I'm giving, extends applet. Okay, so now within the applet class, I write public void init. And inside init, I can create the choice we need. So let us create the reference object of choice called C. And within the init, that means initializing method, I create the choice. I just give C equals new choice like this. So that means I have created a combo box without any content in it. So if I add this to the applet, how can we add it to the applet? We can give the add method, add C, which means we are adding this content, or we are adding the choice control or the combo box to the applet. That is what we do here. Okay, fine. And if you want to run the program, you have to write the applet keyword, applet tag. I write applet code equals ch.class height equals 300, width equals 300. I'm just closing the program. Let me run this program and see how the output will look like. So I'm just giving java c ch.java. Well, I got little error here. Okay, we made a mistake. The mistake is that since I'm using applet, I have to use one more import statement, and that is import java.applet.star. So that was the error what I got. Now let me run this program. Sorry, let me compile this program. As such, I don't have any error. So I'm just going for applet viewer. Java. So you can see here I've got an applet, and in the applet I have got a combo box. Now you can see that when I click the combo box, we don't have anything, which means we have not added anything to the combo box. Now let us see how we can add values into the combo box. To add the values, the first method what we have to learn is called add item. What I do is I just write c dot add item, and I add an item. Let's say I just give item as apple. Now there is how the method looks like. The method is written in this way: void add item. It accepts a string. So that means whatever we would like to add inside a choice component, it has to be a string type. Okay, so this is how we can add an item to the combo box, and it will accept only a string type value. Now, if I want to add another item, I can say c dot add item. Give another name called mango. Okay, let me add two more items. If you want to add more than one item, we have to use different add item statements. We cannot write a single add item statement and add all the values into it. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is what I have done now. Let me run this program again and let us see how the output looks like. Well, this is the output. We can see here now we have got apple, mango, grape, and orange. So we have learned the first method, which is called add item. And add item is basically used to add values into a combo box. This method is used to add a string item to the combo box. This is the purpose of the method add item. Now, for example, we would like to, retrieve a value from the combo box. So for that, we have to use another method, which is called get item. You can just note it down. We have another method called get item. So get item, as we know that it has got multiple values. So we have to give an index value of which the index value of the location of the value of within the combo box, and that value based upon the index value will be returned back to the variable. So let me explain with an example here. I am declaring a string called st, and here I would like to write a statement st equals c dot get item index 2. This is what I'm giving. So what is happening here now? Index 2 means I can say that apple is actually index 1. Index 0. Mango is index 1, and grape is index 2, and orange is index 3. So when I write the statement C, what is C? C is the choice, which we have already declared. C is the name of the choice or the combo box, which you have already declared. Get item 2 means it is going to retrieve you the value stored in the second index. Index value always starts with 0. So it is going to retrieve the value grape, and the value grape will be stored into the variable called st. Okay. Now, what we can do here is, let me say I can also write a statement like system.out.incline and I'm just writing the value retrieved is plus st. So this is the value, this is the statements what I'm giving. Now we already know that we are writing an applet program that again means that system.out.println will not work. It will not show you any error. The thing is that if I ask you whether it will not work, means it will surely work, but the output will not be displayed on the applet screen, but it will be displayed in this DOS window. So let me compile this program. Any change made in the program means you need to compile it. Yes. Now you can see that the value has been given here. The value retrieved is grape because we have written the statement in the init. Public word init in the program start work in a method on init. Init in values add value retrieve. So this was an example to show you how a value from the combo box can be retrieved, and the method what we used is called get item. Okay, now step by step let us see a different type of methods which can be used in this statement or used in this program. Now let us go to the third statement, third method, which is called get item count. Get item count is a method which will retrieve the number of items declared or initiated or populated in the choice. When we consider this program, I can say that in this particular program, we have actually added 4 items basically called apple, mango, grape, and orange. So when I say when I just give the command get item count, the value is going to be 4 because it has got 4 items stored in the combo box. So that is another method which is called item counts. Let us also see that. So maybe here we can just give system.out.println the total count is I can directly write c.get item count. So all this I'm writing inside okay. So when I compile this program, I save this, and when I compile this program, we can see that we will be getting here the value retrieved is gray. That is because we had a statement which is getting the output of get item method, and here the total count is 4. Now this 4 from where I'm getting this, the 4 I'm getting from the method get item count. Okay, the method get item count retrieves the total number of items being stored in the combo box. Then we have get selected index. Get selected index. Okay, what I feel is let us just write a very simple program just to see how what are the different methods of this choice and how it is going to work. Now there is one more thing. For example, you might have seen in MS Word where we have something called a font size selection. The font size selection always starts from 8 to 72. Now how we can add all these values into a combo box. So that is also simple. Now let us go for another example. Here what I do is I just write a for loop for I equals. Since I is not declared, I can directly, since we can declare a variable directly inside a for loop. So I can write for int I equals, let's say 8, I less than equals 72, I equals I plus 2. So this is what I'm giving here. And I would like to add the content. I would like to add this content inside the choice. Now, here, one thing what you have to understand is I'm going to add contents inside the combo box. Now, combo box will accept only string values, but here I'm going to provide values which are integer. So what we have to do, we have to convert this integer into a string. So how we can do that? I'm just writing c dot add item. This is the basic way of entering values into a choice. Add item, and if I write I, it is going to show you compilation error. Why? Because I is an integer, and integer values are not accepted in the method add item. So what we have to do is we have to convert this I into a string. So I can directly use the statement string dot value of I. Okay, we have already seen this in the different examples. So let me remove all this. Fine. So in this particular statement, what we are doing, we are actually creating a combo box which will be having values starting from 8 to 72. It is not going to a sequential value after 8, then it will be 10, 12, 14, because the incremental value I have given it as I equals I plus 2. Right? So let me just run this program and see how the output looks like. Okay, now you can see here, you have a combo box and you have all the values starting from 8 to 72. Right? Fine. Now let us do a very simple program. The program is to add two numbers. Write a program to add two numbers based on the selection made in the combo box. So this is the question. So what we do is let us create 3 text boxes. I'm just writing text field T1, T2, T3. And I am first creating a choice, and I have to add 4 items into that. Basically, sum, subtract, multiply, and divide. So how do I do it? I just write c dot add item, add. Okay. Similarly, c dot add item, add. Next is subtract. Then third, I just go for multiply. And then it is going to be divide. And I'm adding that to the applet. And let me create the text boxes. T3, T1 equals new text field. Let's say I'm just giving a width of the text field as 5. I'm just giving T2 and T3. Okay. I'm going to add that to the applet. I just give add T1, add T2, add T3. Now, what we have to do is, now the biggest question is, where are we going to do this calculation? I would like to say that The event has to be performed based on the selection made in the combo box. Like button, when we had to when we created an event that was written in a method called public void action performed. I hope you remember that. So here the event with respect to the combo box is public void item state changed. Item event. This is the event method. So that means whenever you click a choice, whenever you click a combo box, automatically it will come and execute this item state changed method. So this is the event method with respect to the combo box or choice. The event method with respect to button was public void action performed that we have already seen. Now, in order to activate this particular method into the program, we have to use another interface. The method displayed above is a part of the interface item listener. Okay, so that means if you want to perform an event, you have to write the coding inside item state changed. And if you want to use item state changed in the program, you have to extend or you have to implement the interface called item listener in the program. I hope this much is clear to you. So what we have to do is in the program, when I write public class ch extends applet, we also write implements item listener. Okay, this is what we have to do. Now, on the adding part or whatever arithmetic calculation has to be performed, that will be done based upon the selection made in the choice. Now, how do we understand that which selection has been made? For that, we have to use the second method which you have learned, which is called get item. So when I say get item, index provided with an index, I can surely get it with the, or I can continue with the program. So let us write a method called public void item state changed item event key. നമുക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കേണ്ട ഏത് item ആണ് നമ്മൾ select ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണം. Okay, for that we have a method called get selected index. Okay, we need to learn one more method which is called get selected index. Now, what is get selected index? It returns the index of the currently selected item. That is called get selected index. For example, എനിക്ക് ഇവിടെ ആദ്യം കിട്ടിയിരിക്കുന്ന ഞാൻ ആദ്യം കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഇൻഡെക്സ് പേരെന്തുവാണ് എന്താണ് വാല്യൂ കിടക്കുന്നത് add subtract multiply divide. So if I'm selecting add, the index value will be 0. If I'm selecting subtract, index value will be 1. So this is how we have to identify which index has been selected. Otherwise, we also have another method which is called string get selected item. Now, what does this mean? It returns the current value, whatever you have selected. Returns the current value or item being selected. എനിക്ക് രണ്ട് മെത്തേഡ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം. ഒന്ന് get selected index use ചെയ്യാം. So it will always return the index value of the item what I have selected. Or I can also use get selected item. അതായത് ഞാൻ ആദ്യത്തെ ഐറ്റം സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ആദ്യത്തെ ഐറ്റം എങ്ങനെ എഴുതിയിരിക്കുന്നത് add add. So I have to check. So it will return add. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത് ഞാൻ റിട്ടേൺ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന വാല്യൂ ആഡ് ആണെങ്കിൽ എനിക്ക് അഡീഷൻ പെർഫോം ചെയ്യണം. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ get selected index എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ മെത്തേഡ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ I will be either getting the index value either 0, 1, 2, and 3 in this particular example. Okay, so let us continue with the program. So in the add, in the item state changed, what I do is, first let me retrieve the values of the two text boxes. So how do I do it? The value of the text boxes are going to be string. So that has to be converted into a numeric value so that it can be done, it can be used for arithmetic applications. So what I do is I just give int x equals integer dot parseInt t1 dot get text. I hope you remember this. How do I retrieve the value from a text box? I can use the statement called get text, but get text always returns a string value. So if I'm entering a value called 10 or 20, that 10 or 20 will be considered as a string. So that string has to be converted into an integer using the statement integer dot parseInt. And that integer value will be stored into an integer variable called x. Similarly, I would also like to retrieve the second value from the second text box. So that is going to be integer y equals integer dot parseInt t2 dot get text. So now I have got two values. They're both the values from the first text box and the second text box. Now the question is, what has to be done? So based upon the selection made after entering the values into the text boxes, and based on the selection made in the combo box, the arithmetic calculations has to be performed. So, either value on a combo box select as I've already told you, there is different ways. There are two different methods called get selected index and get selected item. So I just declare one integer variable. Let's say I just give it as the integer. Integer n. I just give declare a variable called n. So I'm just writing n equals c dot get selected index. So that means whatever selection you have made in the combo box, if you have selected the first option add, then the value of n will be 0. And I'm checking if the value of n is 0, what should happen? The arithmetic calculation should be performed. So I just create one more variable, integer z, and I provide the initial value as 0. So n0 ആണെങ്കിൽ എന്താ പെർഫോം ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? z equals x plus y, right? Because if I'm selecting add, that means index value will be 0, and that index value I am storing it in the variable n. Similarly, I have to check with all the different possibilities. I need to check if n is 0, and if n is 1 means I have to go for subtraction. If n is 2 means I have to go for multiplication, and if n is 3 means I have to go for division. Then the value can be, the value is actually collected in z, and that value has to be copied to the third text box. Now, what is the third text box? Third text box is named T3. So I can say T3 dot set text. This is the method for assigning value to the text box. So what is the value I'm going to assign? If I give z, this is going to be an error. Okay, if I give z, that is going to be an error, because z is a numeric value and text box don't accept numeric values. So what I have to do is I have to convert this into a string. So how can I do that? I can just give the value string dot value of z. Okay, so this is a simple example. Now let us just run this program and see how the output looks like. Okay, no error. Well, I got, well, I'm entering 50, the first text box, and in the second text box also I'm entering 50. I press add. Oh, there is a small mistake done here. If anyone can guess, I'm applying the event in the combo box. So you might remember, when we have done an event in the button, we have just written a statement called if the button is considered as B. I have written B1, or if the name of the button is B, I have written B dot add action listener this. Similarly, I also have to give C dot add item listener this. So which means, what does this mean? This means that now an event can be performed on the choice of the combo box C. Okay, so this we have missed it, and that is the reason we have not got any output. So let me just see if we get the output now. I just compile the program, I run it. So this is it. I enter the value 50 in the first text box, 50 in the second text box. I press add. Now you can see that I'm getting the result 100. I press subtract, I get 0. Multiply 2500, divide, I get 1. So here, when we summarize what exactly we are doing here, in the previous session we have learned how an event can be performed on a button, and if an event has to be performed on a button, the event method what we used was public void action performed. But in this case, if the event has to be performed in a combo box, the event method is called public void item state changed, and this item state changed is residing inside an interface named item listener. And since I'm performing an event, I must say that we have to use the import statement or the package java.awt.event.star. Okay, so I hope you're clear with this. So let us continue in the next class. Thank you very much.